Martell never thought it would come to this. He never believed that the woman who once stood quietly beside him, the woman who held his world together while he was tearing hers apart, would one day become his greatest challenge. Not on stage, not on camera, but in a courtroom. Because this time, Melody isn't clapping back on social media. She isn't posting quotes, she isn't crying on live, and she definitely isn't sitting in silence. No. This time, she's speaking through paperwork, signatures, and legal filings. The kind that don't just trend, they terrify. Melody has officially taken strong legal action, and trust me, she isn't playing. Martell crossed a line that even his charm, his smooth talk, and his curated image can't cover anymore. And now, the woman he underestimated is making her move, not with emotions, but with evidence, real, hard, documented proof. And that's something Martell can't sweet-talk his way out of. For years, fans believed they knew the story. They watched it unfold on television, in interviews, on social media. They saw the heartbreak, the cheating, the public humiliation, the breakdown of a marriage that once looked powerful. Melody, the supportive wife, the mother of 4, the woman who built with Martell, only to be betrayed by him in front of the world. It was painful, raw, and real. She didn't just lose a husband, she lost trust, peace, and the dream she spent years building. But what people didn't truly understand was the depth of what she went through behind closed doors. See, people saw glimpses, arguments, accusations, disrespect, but they never really saw the full picture. They didn't see the nights she stayed up worrying about her kids, crying over broken promises. They didn't see how many times she tried to protect their family name, even when she was hurting. Melody didn't want to destroy Martell, she wanted to keep her family together. She believed in forgiveness, in growth, until one day she realized she was protecting someone who was actively destroying her. Martell knew how to talk. He knew how to sell a story, how to twist a narrative, how to make himself look like the misunderstood victim. He wore designer suits, smiled for cameras, and posted quotes about healing and growth while stirring chaos behind the scenes. He built an online persona, but behind that persona was a man spiraling, manipulating, and trying desperately to hold on to an image that was already cracking. While fans were busy debating sides, Melody was busy documenting. She wasn't ranting, she was recording. Texts, messages, financial records, patterns, every lie, every threat, every broken promise. She knew that if Martell wouldn't protect her peace, she'd have to protect it herself. And when it became clear that Martell wasn't just careless, he had become reckless, she stopped being silent. She stopped hoping he would change. She stopped trying to fix what was already broken. That's when she did something Martell never expected. She got serious. She lawyered up. Not just to protect herself emotionally, but to protect her kids, her finances, her business, her future. Because Martell was no longer just a messy ex-husband, he had become a liability. He had crossed lines over and over again. And this time, Melody wasn't tolerating it. At first, fans thought it was about co-parenting. Some believed it was just a business disagreement. But then, things got intense. Melody filed official legal action, not vague threats, not social media hints, but real filings. Documents that hold people accountable. And once those papers were signed, everything changed. Martell started panicking. His tone shifted. No more calm, healing quotes. No more subtly crafted narratives. Instead, viewers started noticing late-night lives, frantic rants, emotional breakdowns, confusing statements. He looked worried, and for the first time, very, very unsure. Because unlike drama, this wasn't entertainment anymore. This wasn't something he could smooth over with his words. This was legal. This was serious. And in situations like these, silence speaks louder than anything. But here's the twist. There were whispers that Martell had gone too far. that he had been sharing private information, making accusations, even using the kids to manipulate situations. Allegedly, he had leaked personal details, harassed Melody with repeated calls, and publicly disrespected her reputation. And that's a legal boundary you don't cross. Melody, being the composed woman she is, didn't jump online to clap back. She didn't cry on camera, she didn't beg for sympathy. Instead, she gathered evidence, hired experts, and moved the right way, the legal way. And soon, fans began hearing words like restraining order, defamation, custody modification, and financial misconduct. Suddenly, this wasn't just about heartbreak, it was about justice. Because when a person keeps crossing boundaries, eventually those boundaries become laws. What nobody expected was just how deeply this would shake Martell. His brand, his image, his show appearances, everything started feeling unstable. Because when your public persona clashes with your documented actions, people don't just unfollow you, they stop believing you altogether. Sponsors began watching carefully, producers began asking questions. Courtrooms don't care about charisma, they care about facts, truth, and stability. The emotional impact, it was deeper than anyone realized. Melody had once stood next to him while he built his name. She had helped him grow, co-created businesses, raised their children, and even forgave betrayal more times than she should have. But in the end, she had to accept that sometimes love isn't about holding on. Sometimes it's about letting go, so you can heal, so you can protect, so you can finally breathe. This legal move wasn't revenge, it was protection. It was her standing up and saying, I will no longer let anyone play with my peace. And fans felt that. They saw the difference. While Martell was posting reactions and blame games, Melody was showing up to conferences, securing deals, opening doors for single mothers, protecting her kids, and building something powerful, quietly, confidently, intentionally. She wasn't fighting for attention, she was fighting for peace. Martell's reaction? Messy, emotional, defensive. But Melody's? Calm, composed, strategic. The contrast became louder than any argument. This case isn't just about two people. It's about showing that silence is powerful, but proof is even louder. It's about showing that emotional strength doesn't always look like speaking. It looks like protecting. And maybe, just maybe, this was the closure Melody always deserved. Because in the end, she didn't just walk away from the chaos, she outgrew it. She chose dignity over drama, strategy over noise, facts over feelings. And now, she's not reacting, she's winning. Not in the court of public opinion, but in the court of law. And when that final legal decision comes down, it won't be a post, a rant, or a caption. It will be permanent. It will be powerful. It will be real. So while Martell tries to explain himself to an audience, Melody is protecting her future. Not with words, with action. Because when you finally stop explaining your worth to someone, you start becoming unstoppable. And this is Melody's unstoppable moment. So remember this, power isn't always loud, strength isn't always visible, and sometimes the most powerful clapback is a legal document. Stay tuned, because this story, it's not over, it's just getting started. And now, as we reach the end of this emotional, messy, and eye-opening journey, there's one thing we cannot ignore. This was never just about a broken relationship. This was about respect, about peace, about knowing when love stops being love and starts being a battle for survival. Melody didn't walk away because she was weak. She walked away because she was finally strong enough to let go. She didn't choose revenge. She chose protection. She chose her children. She chose her future. Martell had every chance to turn things around, every moment to step up, apologize, heal, and grow. But instead, he crossed lines that should never be crossed, not as a partner, not as a co-parent, not as a man. And when words weren't enough to set boundaries, Melody turned to something that could, the law. Because sometimes the most powerful move is not yelling, not exposing, not clapping back on Instagram, but quietly signing the papers that change everything. What makes this moment so powerful is that Melody didn't just reclaim her strength, she redefined it. Strength isn't just surviving the storm, it's learning to build a future where you'll never have to weather that storm again. And that, right there, is her victory. Martell may keep talking, he may keep posting, defending, blaming, and performing. But the truth doesn't need an audience. It just needs to be documented. So while one story ends in chaos, another begins in clarity. Let this be a reminder: real queens don't fight for a crown, they build their own. Thank you for watching. If you want more real, raw, and emotional celebrity stories like this, make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Because we don't just tell stories here, we reveal the truth behind them. See you in the next one.